what's up, everybody? Keith again. Glad to have everybody watching and tuning in. This will be the third video in our interview with Assassin video. I got KG here for the first time. Finally got to talk to him. He's on the other side of the world, so it's not so easy. But we're going to hear what he's got to say about things. KG is one of the original guys that we formed the group that we have with. He's one of the original people who cared to listen. And here we are, making good money, doing his thing. He sees things that maybe other people don't see, and it's a really good element to what we do. So what's up, KG? How you been, brother?
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me.
You're very, very
Thanks for
welcome.
having me.
So, like I ask everybody else, exactly how the hell did you stumble into this? How did this happen for you? I know how it happened for me. How the hell did this happen for you?
So how I got into crypto, right? Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting story, a friend of my mother told her about XRP and this cryptocurrency stuff, and then I started researching a bit more and eventually investing a bit of my money into XRP. It was like 40 or 50 cents or something like that, So it was definitely not a great buy-in, especially because it was in a downtrend. And after a couple of months, I stumbled upon a YouTube group that they used to do, fractals and fractal patterns, especially from especially of a coin named XRP, or the Ripple coin, as we like to call it.
Good old XRP, man. Heartbreaker
Little
101.
XRP. and yeah, so a lot of us lost quite a bit of money in there, and we formed a group. So yeah, that was basically how it started. Sorry, there's my alarm. And yeah, so one day you sent me a link. It was an invite link to a Discord meeting, if I remember right. It was just you were just explaining some basic TA stuff like support and resistance to that stuff, and it seemed so abstract to me, what to even look on a chart, and yeah, we just kept going, and you made some more lessons, and eventually I was able to reach charts, and that's basically how this happened.
So so backing up a second here, the first time you ever bought anything was Ripple Coin XRP. And I say Ripple Coin as a joke because if y'all guys don't watch the live streams, every time I say XRP, I have to drink, and I'm not drinking right now. It's too early for that shit. So, but you had the same story as me. The first thing you bought was XRP. You had a thing where you hopped on YouTube. Now, was this the thing like you did where you just hopped on YouTube and typed in XRP price prediction? Because that's what I did. You know what I mean? And then the first thing that popped up was the other people that we knew, the MLU people, and that led to where we are now. I just don't know how that works for everybody else. If you did the same stupid shit I did, I just popped up and typed in XRP price prediction, and believe it or not, that's the first dude that popped up.
It wasn't the first dude or something like that, but I remember watching guys like Alex Kopp or Kevin Cage and all those people who were, they did some good research on the project itself, but it had, I would say it had like almost nothing to do with the price of XRP or the TA or where the price is gonna go, and yeah, I was also on Twitter and that stuff, and had those crazy, stupid price predictions of $100 to $1,000 XRP in 2 or 3 years, and I was so hyped about it and telling everybody, and yeah, it's a whole different story right now than it was before.
I had the same exact issue. Now, what year would you say this is when you got in, you learned about it, you made your first purchase? About when was that?
So we are at 2021. I think it was like May or June 2019. So 1 year and a half ago. Yeah.
So you bought it like a month before it tanked.
Yeah, kind of.
That sucks. I know exactly
it
what
was,
you mean.
I think it was like 45 cents in euro. That was like
Euros, yeah.
55, 55 cents or pennies, or how to say it.
Yeah, the similar thing. I bought my first in 2018 at like 28 cents, and like 3 or 4 days after I bought it, it went up to 80 something cents, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is really happening. This is really happening. This is for real."
Yeah,
Only to watch it totally tank in price from there. And I had, well, that's fine. It's going to go to $500. I don't have to worry about 80 cents, whatever. $500 is coming soon. I'm going to retire. That was what I thought.
5.89.
And then from there, it went all the way down to 10 cents. And
Right.
I learned my lessons the hard way. Now, this was your first time ever investing in anything?
Yeah, it was my first time investing in everything. Yeah, I'm also pretty young. Like I mentioned it a couple of times already, I think. So it was my first investment, I would say, yeah. And it happened to be not a really good one.
Well, in the long run, here you are. You've managed to flip things back around, and
Definitely,
and
definitely,
change your strategies a bit, and learn a life skill, in my opinion, that
definitely.
that
Indeed.
guides you to being able to buy other assets. I've told the story before, but you have like 17 years on me, which is amazing. If I had known what I know now at your age, oh my God, the money that I could have made on Disney and Amazon alone. You know what I mean?
I know.
So from sitting where you are and looking forward, a decade and a half, holy crap. The endless possibilities start to pop up into your eyes. You know what I mean? You start to see things differently at a younger age, so that when you're old like I am, you look at it and you go, "Well, dude, look at this. We can be here and here and here in this many years." And what am I doing? What's the point in even trying to work a job? I could just do this. Like these things start to dawn on me.
Yeah, and I know exactly what you mean. And to be honest, I feel really grateful that I'm in this position at such a young age. It's yeah, I just like appreciate everything, and that I have a chance, to learn that skill set, as you said, so early on, because yeah, the profits can really compound during those years, and it's a bit different if I start investing, let's say in stock market, or in mutual funds at like 30, or doing TA on cryptocurrencies at 18, or something.
Now,
Yeah.
now, when you okay, we've learned that you liked. Well, the first thing you bought was XRP. You'd never invested in anything before. You'd never even tried to attempt to do any technical analysis before. What would you say after you've done it for a bit? What would you say would be like your go-to thing that you look at first? The first thing that when you open the chart, like it's for me, the first thing I do when I open the chart is like I get a visual on I can like have some of the fibs, the Fibonacci sets, like just a visual glance. I can look at that and say, that looks like it's not going to do anything yet. And I can look at another one and say, that looks like that's gone too far. Like, what's your first thing when you look at the chart?
Right. So I use a lot of indicators, actually. So it's always some kind of a combination between the indicators before I even like make a decision. But as you said, the first thing I look at the chart to get a glance of everything is I would say it's the 1821 EMA, and I think most of us use this strategy because it's really effective, and just kind of gives you an idea where the trend is going, and that is the most important thing when you open a chart.
You can look at
So
the chart
no,
he's got pulled up right here, right now, and you can see that the lime green and the purple line are the 8 and the 21 EMA, exponential moving average. And as you see around June 2020, from there up, it hasn't missed a beat. It stayed directly above the 8 and the 21 all the way up to the top. That's all it would have took for any one of us to buy. And make a lot of money. That's if you look there, that's what $8,000, $9,000 for Bitcoin, and now it's all the way up to 34,000. That's 400% gains, roughly 400% gains. So you put a grand in, you'd have 4 grand for literally clicking a mouse. I don't know how else to put it to people.
Yeah, that was weekly that we were on. If you look at the daily, it was actually on 10th of October, and it didn't cross and it didn't close under the 21 two times in a row. I guess you can argue right here if it's directly on the 21 or not, because yeah, it stayed above all those two lines until recently. So yeah, it just shows that simple strategies can be also one of the most effective ones.
Now, I've told
And
this story before, but I actually missed this trade.
same.
Well, I take a good bit of blame for this because I was so hardcore locked into one thing that this thing was going to close the CME gap at $9,600, and it never did. It got close, but it never did, and I had locked in on it. And you were actually the first one that texted me and said, "Dude, I think it's time to stop thinking about that and to move on." And I was like, At first, I ignored you, and I was like, I don't know. And then, like, 2 hours later, you text me again, and you're like, "No, this doesn't look like." Okay, and then an hour later, Dre texts me, and he's like, "Dude, this isn't going down." I was like, "All right, shit, okay. All right, what am I missing? What am I missing?" And at that point, I had already missed the entry, so I started looking at other things. I started looking at other places because I'd already missed the entry on Bitcoin, and I thought, well, I'm not going to chase this one. I'm not going to chase it. The money's going to go somewhere else too. That was the moment when I got out of Tether and put my money back in somewhere else. And had it not been for you and Dre kind of, smacking me in the back of the head and redirecting me a little bit, which is important, then who knows what I would have missed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think most of us kind of missed this trade because we didn't expect Bitcoin to have such an aggressive move up. It went to 1.414 fib extension on all-time high fib extension. So that's a pretty major move. Yeah, I honestly I didn't expect it to go that high. Like I thought it would stop at all-time high for some time. It did for like 1 month or so, but yeah, that move up here, that was a bit unexpected. That's a bit unexpected.
So, what are, in your opinion, what do you typically like to invest in? Are you more? Don't tell me what you have amounts of or anything. I want to know that. But are you more of the Bitcoin, Ethereum kind of person? Are you more of the altcoin kind of person, or do you like shit coins like I do?
Right. So
Any
I
stocks,
kind
by the
of
way? Any stocks? Any forex? Any whatever?
no,
Whatever.
I haven't bought any stocks yet, but I want to make a trading account and start investing in stocks as well. But currently I'm in crypto. I mean, there is so much happening in crypto right now. So yeah, but maybe later I will do some stocks. Based when I look at those coins, you ask if I'm like more of a legacy coin person or like other alts or shit coins. Yeah, I'm quite diversified. That's one thing, and but I like altcoins that are 50 to $200 cap. Yeah, 50 to 200 market cap value.
Million,
Um,
you mean?
no, basically, no, not million, but on the coin market cap page,
Ah,
they're
the
ranked like
ranking. Ah,
yeah.
okay,
So
gotcha.
like from 50 to 250 or something like that. So they're not legacy coins, but they're alts with good projects and teams behind them. So they are not complete shit coins, and they also have good liquidity. So I have most of those coins. So like most of the coins that I own are the regular altcoins. I have some legacy coins as well to hedge my bet. I don't own any Ethereum and also no Litecoin, so I can't say I'm in the top 5 or so. but yeah, you can see on the right side, like you see those coins right here. Those green ones, not those up here, but those green ones right here. So that are my holdings. Some are doubled because there isn't enough data on a chart. But yeah, so you can get the gist of what I'm invested in.
So you like to heavily diversify, for the most
Yeah,
part.
kind
For the most
of.
part, right? Oh no, that's fine. For the most part, altcoins. We talked about this privately before, but I had gotten to the point where I was like you, and I had like 20 or 25 different coins, and I was like, okay, it was so much for me to do streams, watch my coins, help everyone learn that I could. I was like, oh, that's too much. And then once we had a chance to kind of undiversify and liquidate some of our stuff and move over, I got down, and I think I'm in roughly about 9 or 10 now. And I don't want to even do that many, but there's just so much opportunity, like you stated. I don't want to miss out
Exactly.
on those. And you made an interesting point that I don't know if anybody caught that, but you like to have coins that have good liquidity. Uh, Essentially, what
Definitely.
we found out was, sure, you might like the gains on these coins, but there's not many available on the marketplace. So when you go to buy them, you can't sell them again because there's not going to be any buyers. Okay, so you got to make sure, is this something you want to buy? Because are you going to be able to sell it later on? And if you are going to buy it, are you going to be able to buy enough of it that you get a good buy-in price? And these are some of the stumbling blocks we run into with crypto.
Yeah, it's kind of a combination, you know. I try to look for coins, or just like when I'm deciding if I want to buy a coin or not. I'm looking at multiple factors, you know. So the first of all, you know, the gains. I would much rather have a coin that has a 500 or 1000% potential than a coin that has 100. That's self-explanatory, but. The next thing I look at is that this coin is that this particular coin has a solid project, and it is actively being built on, you know. So it's not like a dying coin.
Mm-hmm.
And the third thing is liquidity. So I think those three factors are need to cooperate with each other to so that the coin becomes a good buy for a midterm hold.
Right. I kind of agree with everything you just said. The only exception with me is I'm willing to take a stab at a few that are terrible and have no project at all and have
Those are
no
handle coins,
useful
yeah,
at all, have no use at all. But as we call those, hundo coins, we'll just put
definitely,
$100 on that
yeah,
because the risk is so low. Honestly, when you get to the level that we're at now, losing $100 is kind of like, which seems like a lot of
I know
money to
what you mean,
people.
yeah.
It seems like lot of money to people, but you might make that $100 back in 5 minutes. So you really can't panic, and it's hard to explain that to people, but it's just what we've come to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those handle coins, or like shit coins as we like to call them, you know, those are like those purple ones right on the right side. So, you know, Bolt, PHB, Spend, and coins like that, or PPT, or yeah,
Yeah.
I think this coin went like a, you know,
Yeah, you actually went to the extent of looking up websites and looking up their Twitter pages and everything else, and you're like, "Hey Keith, PHB's website hasn't been updated in 2 years," and I'm like, "Do I really want to buy that? Do I really
yeah,
want to buy that?"
it makes one think, you know, like you also want to have a coin that has some kind of potential, so that people also see it, you know. There are bots and people who are buying these coins, you know. The most of them are bots, and also when a bot, like the price is moving based on bots trading, you know. But I think there is also a factor and it needs to be considered, and that is the people's perception of each coin they're buying, you know. So if there is like a coin or like a DeFi coin that have been exploding recently, if they see everybody else is buying this coin and there are all those decentralized exchanges, coming up with also borrowing and lending and high percentage yield returns. I think that also plays a factor, And
Yeah, like right now it's January 29th, 2021. This video will probably debut tomorrow, but DeFi coins, decentralized finance coins, have literally just started. So this is a whole nother marketplace. This is a whole nother way of doing financial transactions, completely separate from cash, completely separate from banks. There's no banks involved. As a matter of fact, it's
there's the
us.
beauty bit.
It's us. We put the money in the pool and we keep the bank going. And if we don't like it, we take our money out and put the bank somewhere else. It's actually quite crazy, but interesting because as we've seen on some of these DeFi coins, man, the gains are exponential. And who's to say where this space goes?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, I think everybody here should have at least one or two DeFi coins among in their portfolio, and also just as I said, like it's best to have everything a bit diversified. Some legacy coins, some normal altcoins, some shit coins, and some DeFi coins. Maybe some Ethereum or Bitcoin if you like to have like some really conservative investments. But yeah, the DeFi coins are definitely on the run right now, and they're exploding. I have some of Sushi. Sushi is like one of those coins that I recently just bought because, as you said, like the gains are just crazy. I mean, just look at it. I mean, from November till now, it's like a 1,300%, and the altcoin season hasn't even really started yet.
And
And
Sushi, in case anyone doesn't know, is a terrible project. They started this coin and screwed everyone over and took $12 million and left, which is a risk that you take when you do this decentralized finance stuff. You know what I mean? It's one of the very first ones, a popular one, and then boom, just like that, it was gone. And they took their money and left, and they went and started another project. This is, but look, all that being said, look at the price. It's done nothing but go up. Okay, so at what point do we stop listening to the news and stop caring about that and just paying attention to the chart, which is what I've been advocating for a year and some change to everyone now? Forget the news, forget that shit. Just look at the chart. What does it say? Does it say buy or sell? And as you've seen, Sushi has been a buy since, that's what you're on the daily right there. It's been a buy since early November.
yeah, the middle of November, yeah.
All right.
And
So where do you see this space going? What do you see in the future, short term and long term?
right, that's kind of that's a hard question, That's $1 million question.
Right?
Right, definitely.
Well, here's a real quick thing.
uh,
Here's a real quick thing. You just said a second ago, if you want to be more conservative, you get Bitcoin and Ethereum. And for anyone who doesn't know, Bitcoin is up 450%. So that's not even conservative in the real world. But to us, that's conservative. You know what I mean? This is an
that's
interesting
definitely
world.
conservative.
It's an interesting world where
I,
that's
I,
conservative. You know what I mean? Which leads me to
I,
believe this space is going to go crazy.
Definitely. I mean, I don't. It's kind of funny how we're looking at money at this point.
So true.
It's it's kind of weird because when I go to the store, I look at everything I buy. And if it's like a couple of dollars more, I'm asking myself, should I really buy this? And I'm here like spending thousands of dollars and don't even fucking care.
Look, the same thing happened to me a couple days ago. I was, just I forget what I was even looking at, but I was like, man, do I even need this? I could buy some XLM right now. I'm like, well, I don't even need this. What am I doing? But then I've gotten to the point where I'm like, Keith, how much more do you need to do this? What are you doing? Like, stop. Same time, I know I can make these exponential gains on this. I don't want to spend my money. And this is why I'm so adamant about kind of pushing this out to the public and trying to get people out there because this wasn't me. This wasn't me a few years ago. I put some money to the side and gave it to a broker that I knew, and he would put the money in a market for me because he knew me. But now I stopped spending. Like anybody who watches this channel, you can go over to the playlist. I have a Mustang video where I build a race car. All right, so I've stopped spending money on that, and I just invest now. I don't even want to spend money on my hobby because this is more what I want to do.
yeah, it's really interesting, you know, like the perception of money kind of changes when you're in this market, because it's kind of like you're operating with two different values of a dollar. You know what I'm saying? Like in the real world, you're kind of conservative with everything you do, and here you're looking for a couple $100,000 gains on a single coin, you know, and you just look at a coin and say like, you know, like it's like they're 100 or 200% available. May I can find a better one, you know. That's
That's
kind of messed
crazy.
up.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Just the other day, Pundi X went up 120% in one day. And what was amazing was we had talked about Pundi X a couple days before it did this. 230%. Look at that. A couple days before it did this, we talked about it. So I got in. I put a couple $1,000s down on this, okay? And in one
Right.
move, one mouse click, I was able to make exponential gains in a matter of 2 hours.
Yeah, that's
Two
it.
hours, which blew my mind. And I was like, okay, Keith, it's time to start being more hardcore. And I'm already pretty hardcore with this stuff. But even I was like, okay, I've got to pay attention to every single chart. Let me go find some more that look like that. And, we've been doing that for a couple weeks now since.
Yeah. To be honest, like a lot of these coins look really similar. So it's that one price action, like price action pattern that we have seen multiple coins doing, or just or printing since start of 2020, and it's that big inverse head and shoulders pattern on the weekly time frame, or at least it looks like this. Like, you know, there's a downslope, and then there was a March drop, a bull cycle, bear cycle, and now it's again a bull cycle. So they all have like really similar pattern, and I think we can go based off that when looking for new coins to buy.
Like I've noticed there's about 3 or 4 different patterns. Like Bitcoin is one pattern. EOS, XRP, and a couple others is another pattern. RSR has this like upward sloping pattern that never goes down. And then you have a whole bunch of them that look like Pundi X, Algorand, Mithril, and a bunch of them, a bunch
Definitely.
of other ones. They all have that same look.
That same look,
There
yeah.
you go. There
So
it is
like
again.
again, the same thing as PandiX. Like, and then I think Bluezell has a similar. No, the seller has a similar, right? And there is Dusk, I think. Yeah, here we go. It's like completely the same. Fetch,
Which
like
is up
those are all.
23% yesterday. But the
Yeah,
daily just started over.
and I mean, those coins are all looking really similar. You know, like, almost the same. One, look at this. Like, there's almost no change when you click on the.
Pull up
And there is
pull up
Pearl.
RSR real quick there, and you can see the difference in these charts. If you look at RSR, it's completely different. See,
I have used it there.
it's totally different. It's got a completely different set. It's all up, one down and then all up, and it hasn't went down since, which is
Yeah.
interesting. And this pattern is on a couple different ones. And then if you look at like EOS and like monthly on EOS, you got this big, humongous, long downslope, and it's never broken loose and never done anything. It's been stuck in that same downward slope since 2018, since 2018. Yeah, that one's completely different. It's just nothing but down and
It
down and
looks like
down and down.
completely fact one, you know,
Yeah, it's just flat. And
completely flat.
these are the
Yeah.
ones I've been looking for lately because they haven't done anything yet. And I want to get in on the ones that haven't. Look, see right there, 600%. I want to get in on the ones that haven't done anything yet because maybe they don't do anything. Okay, and maybe I'm wrong. But gosh, we've seen a lot of them do it already. So this is like what I say about the future.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you asked me where I see the space in the near future. So the best thing I can explain this for also for I've seen there are a lot of newcomers in our group, you know. So I will use Bluezell as an example because I was just looking at it before. So we have been in a bear market. Like this is clearly a bear market. You know, there's a big downtrend. Let me pull it on daily, on weekly. Okay, so that was a bear market right here, and that March was. I would say that was a complete bottom. I think that's quite obvious at this point, you know, and now we are in a bull run. So it is a bull market, but it consists of multiple bull and bear cycles. So, for example, like after the March drop, we had a bull cycle that was quite amazing, but I didn't know TA at that time, so I haven't really made many gains. After that, we had a bear cycle, but it found support a lot higher than it was before. So like you see, when Bluezell found support like 350% higher, so and that is a higher low. And now we are in a bull cycle again. So there is going to be, I expect there are going to be more bear cycles and bull cycles on this way up, and this everything together we call a bull run. How aggressive these bull cycles are going to be, like for example, if we try to make a prediction for this current bull cycle, I like to use Fibonacci extensions for that. Those are my this is my Fibonacci extensions are my favorite indicator for determining targets. And I think you heard me say a lot of times recent fib set or June fib set or all-time high fib set. So recent fib set is from the end of the last bull cycle to the bottom of the bear cycle. You know, so that is the recent fib set in my language. And a lot of coins have quite good gains. You know, just on this recent fib set. You know, like that's 600% on Bluezell if you bought like pretty much in the middle of these bottom support lines. And but we have seen a lot of other coins just shoot up or just push through this recent fib set and go straight to June fib set or even higher. You know, oh yeah, June is right here. You can see. So how aggressive this move will be, we can't really predict that, but we can expect at least to hit those recent fib set target points, and after that we can watch it if it wants to go more, because you know there are considerably more gains even up here. You know, Bluezell is one of those coins that
1,200% past the 600%.
just watch this. You know, like it's
that's
it's 9,000.
8,700%. That's insane. And that's
insane,
fully
right?
possible. We can't say this is impossible because we see Bitcoin at those upper 1414 levels right now. Right now, it's there. So don't tell me this is impossible.
So yeah, that's basically the question now. You know, do we see like another bull cycle similar to the previous one, or is this one going to be a much more aggressive one? Because Bitcoin definitely did a much more aggressive run up this time. You know, that is well past the targets we were expecting. You know, that is all-time high.
Even though he went all the way up to the top, it was only 250%.
Yeah.
Okay, and Bluezell has 600 to a much lower level. This is why I like altcoins.
Definitely. You know,
all right. Well, me and you have a pretty similar outlook. I'm curious of how far things are really going to go. The world is changing rapidly in front of us, and with the way the stock market's been the last couple of days, and the way chatter's picked up, I only wonder how far things can go. I know I have my targets, but gosh, my targets seem low now compared to what I thought they would be, and the things I see happening. So, do you got anything else before we end it off? We've been going about 35-ish minutes. Do you got anything else before we end it off?
I mean, maybe I can explain some more indicators that I use.
Sure.
If I think they're pretty much similar to what we all use, but as you said, like I have 821 EMAs and also other normal EMAs, not EMAs, normal moving averages, and those are like 50, 100, and 200. There is no 200 on the Bitcoin Weekly yet. And then I have Bollinger Bands, or I don't know how to pronounce it, Bollinger Bands. That if you look those up on different coins, you can see that they have been squeezing really tightly last couple of weeks. You know,
Look at EOS; it has crazy tight Bollinger Bands.
Yeah, a lot of coins have been just like tightening up those Bollinger Bands, and they just indicate movement, as you said. You know, yeah.
Oh goodness.
Like this is gonna pop at some point. You know, like I can't see this just going down. Like I just can't.
Yeah, there's too much support there. It's been holding that support for over a year and some change.
Yeah,
I just don't think that's going to tank. So it looks like
and
a
there
bottom
is so
to me.
much support here that, yeah, definitely bottom. I mean, in my opinion, not financial advice. You know.
Yeah, that chart looks like it's boiling to me.
Yeah,
and I can't let
definitely.
that. I can't let that go by. So.
Yeah, those Bollinger Bands are actually together with those EMAs and MAs. I think Easy made that indicator, and with that together, it's I think it just saves us space, and it's so practical. So props to him. I also use a few, pivot points. I just turn them off because there is too much mess on the chart. You know, normally. I also have MACD, RSI, and stochastic RSI. I think Osco did this one. And yeah, we have like pretty amazing group, I must say that. And I also use volume, but that is mostly for trading breakouts, you know, on smaller time frames. Other than that, that's basically it. Oh yeah, and maybe I try to look at patterns. Like just recently, I have decided that I will look and search for more daily patterns that are building. You know, because I think those are indicating some reversal moves. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, great. Well, look, I super appreciate you doing this. I know it's hard. I know it's pretty late over there where you're at. It's kind of tough for me to get all these done, but I kind of wanted to get this done before I did others because you were one of the first. And I didn't want to put a whole bunch of other videos out without getting the first few guys that were ever around in there. So, really, from me to you, thank you because you didn't have to listen. You could have just said, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about. You could have blew me off like everybody else did. But you didn't. You listened. And because of that, I feel like we have a stronger group because of that. It's helped me get better. I'm no perfect person, no matter how long I've been doing this. I feel like you've gotten better. I feel like everyone has taken the time and stepped up some. So, really, thank you, and thank you for doing this.
Yeah, you know, thank you too, because I've never seen like someone be willing to just teach a bunch of a bunch of noobs from the start to the point where they can read charts on their own and basically we have all acquired a skill set for life, you know, as you said. It's really, I think that is so valuable, and we are forgetting the value of that often, because I've made a lot. I've made a lot of losses in the last year, and I said like I was down maybe 40% of my whole portfolio. You know, that was kind of devastating. And but during that time, during this bear cycle, I learned a ton of TA, and I definitely don't regret it. My portfolio has been rising ever since, and it is it is really amazing to just, you know, have this opportunity and be able to reinvest that money later on and just, you know, achieve financial freedom at one point. And without this group, I don't think it would be possible, because a lot of people would just give up, and they wouldn't have the patience to learn all this stuff. And it's not just about learning theory, but it's also the atmosphere. We have so amazing atmosphere in our group, and it just helps. It just helps because we are all working towards the same goal, and we're helping each other and finding these charts and so on. And yeah, just an amazing opportunity. And definitely thank you to you and everybody else in the group.
Well, you're very welcome. Again, I thank you, and I guess I'll be seeing you in Cyprus, bro.
Yeah, see you in Cyprus.
All right, from me to everybody else, we'll end it off there. I'll get this video posted up, and we'll have another one in the series put up tomorrow, which will be today for everyone else when they watch this. All right, until then, I'll see everybody later. Be good. Peace.